We bought a rig just last week down in Tulsa, the leather seats, but we forgot the map was old, and now we're lost, ain't that so bold? The toilet's blocked, don't you frown, spilling waste all over town. The engine sputters, ain't she sweet? This RV life's one big treat. Say hello to hidden trees, say goodbye to towing fees, knocking pipes, leaky roof, under stars, we're waterproof.
All right, let's hit the road. We're going on an adventure. It's all about hybrid campers and those epic journeys you could take. Think hidden gems and scenic routes all around the world.
Yeah, we're talking those unforgettable destinations and diving deep into an article called Scenic Routes and Unforgettable Destinations for Your Hybrid Camper Journey.
It's like a roadmap to adventure. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the star of the show. What makes a hybrid camper so special for this kind of exploration? What sets it apart?
Great question. Hybrid campers, they give you the best of both worlds. You get that roughing it feeling, being close to nature, but you also get those comforts of home, a cozy bed, and a kitchen. It's that freedom and flexibility. Go off the beaten path, but still enjoy those essential comforts. You can't really do that with a big RV.
No, definitely not. Picture this. You're exploring a remote mountain pass, come across a clearing with panoramic views. You can just set up camp right there and still have that cozy bed waiting for you. So where should we point our wheels first?
Well, the article starts with a classic, the Pacific Coast Highway in California.
Oh, the PCH. Everyone's heard of it, but what makes it so special for a hybrid camper journey?
It's more than just the iconic coastline. It's steeped in history. For instance, did you know part of the highway near Big Sur, it was actually built by hand by Chinese laborers back in the late 1800s.
Wow. I had no idea. That adds a whole new dimension to those views. So we're cruising along this historic highway. What are some must-sees?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Those dramatic cliffs meeting the Pacific. Let's get specific, though. You have Pfeiffer, Big Sur State Park. There's this unique rock formation called the Keyhole Rock. Imagine waves crashing through a natural archway. You can even hike to a waterfall that spills right onto the beach.
Okay, that's going straight on my list, and I've heard about this Hearst Castle.
Ah, Hearst Castle. More than just a landmark, it's pure California Golden Age glamour. A hilltop mansion with extravagant gardens, pools, even a private zoo. This newspaper tycoon, William Randolph Hearst, he hosted Hollywood's elite, world leaders, everyone. You can still feel that extravagance today.
So we have rugged natural beauty and historical grandeur. Anything else the Pacific Coast Highway has in store for us?
Keep heading south and the vibe changes. Santa Barbara has that laid-back charm, Spanish colonial architecture, wine tasting. And then there's Malibu. Park your camper, stroll the famous beaches, maybe you'll spot a celebrity or two.
The PCH sounds like a taste of everything California has to offer. But wouldn't all those winding coastal roads be tough for a hybrid camper? What would you recommend?
That's a great point. For a route like this, you need a camper that's compact, maneuverable, something that can handle twists and turns easily. Look for shorter wheelbase and good ground clearance. You don't want to scrape the bottom on those steep inclines.
So something like a pop-up truck camper or smaller two-drop trailer would be good for the Pacific Coast Highway.
Exactly. You've got to match the camper to the terrain and your own comfort level.
Now let's switch gears completely. Think fire and ice.
Ooh, where are we headed?
Iceland. The legendary ring road awaits. We're talking raw power of nature here. I've heard so much about Iceland's landscapes. But what makes the ring road truly unique?
Imagine this. You're driving through landscapes still being shaped by volcanoes. You can walk between tectonic plates, see geysers erupting with boiling water, soak in hot springs surrounded by snow-capped mountains. It's like going back in time.
Wow, that's not your average road trip. So where do we start?
The Golden Circle is a great starting point. It showcases Iceland's most iconic natural wonders. You'll see the Gullfoss waterfall. Picture a powerful cascade plunging into a canyon. Then there's the geyser geothermal area. The Strucker geyser erupts every few minutes, boiling water shooting into the air.
Okay, I can already see the Instagram pictures. What else is there?
There's Thingvellir National Park, UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can actually walk between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. Talk about a history lesson with a view. This is where the Icelandic Parliament was founded over 1,000 years ago.
That's amazing. But Iceland has crazy weather, right? What kind of camper can handle that?
You're right. You need a camper ready for anything. From strong winds to snowstorms, sturdy build, good insulation, and maybe even four-wheel drive for those icy roads.
So a hard-sided camper van or a well-equipped teardrop trailer, something like that.
Exactly. You want comfort and be prepared for Mother Nature's surprises. But now, let's head south, down under, where the coastline steals the show.
Okay, where to now?
Australia's Great Ocean Road. Get ready for an incredible journey along the southeastern coast of Victoria.
Sounds intriguing. What sets this route apart?
Picture towering limestone stacks rising out of the ocean, carved by centuries of wind and waves. The most famous are the 12 Apostles, an awe-inspiring sight.
Wow, I can see why, but when I think Australia, I think wildlife. What kind of encounters can we expect?
You're in luck. Koalas snoozing in eucalyptus trees, kangaroos hopping across fields, even whales migrating along the coast.
Australia is definitely going on my bucket list. But what about the practicalities of driving a hybrid camper on the Great Ocean Road?
Another good point. Winding roads and dramatic cliffs, so you need maneuverability. A smaller, more agile hybrid camper is best for navigating those curves and narrow stretches.
So a compact caravan or a camper van with a good turning radius would be a smart choice.
You got it. You want to enjoy those views without worrying about tight turns. But now, let's trade the rugged coastline for something a little more, well, enchanting.
I like where this is going. Where are we headed next?
Germany's romantic road. Get ready to be transported to a world of fairy tale castles, charming towns, and rolling hills filled with vineyards.
Fairy tale castles. You had me at fairy tale. What makes the romantic road so special?
Picture a countryside untouched by time. You'll find walled towns with cobblestone streets, half-timbered houses, each with its own unique history.
I can already imagine myself in a quaint cafe. But let's get specific. What are some must-see stops?
Start with Rothenburg ob der Tauber. Perfectly preserved medieval town, it's like walking into a fairy tale. Walk along the ancient city walls, explore the shops, and don't miss the Night Watchman's Tour, a unique and fun way to learn about the town.
That's going on my list. What other treasures await?
Just down the road, you'll find Dinkelsbühl, another charming town. It's escaped modernization. Well-preserved medieval architecture, including St. George's Minster, this towering Gothic church that really dominates the skyline.
Okay, I see the theme. Charming towns, medieval architecture, fairy tale vibes. Anything else?
Well, how about a castle that actually inspired Walt Disney? Neuschwanstein Castle. High on a cliff overlooking the Bavarian Alps, it's the epitome of fairy tale romance. Turrets, towers, elaborate decorations, straight out of a storybook.
I can see why it inspired Disney. It looks incredible. But switching gears for a second, what kind of camper would you recommend for the romantic road?
Good question. The romantic road goes through smaller towns and villages, so a compact, maneuverable camper would be ideal. A camper van or smaller caravan would let you navigate narrow streets and park in those charming town squares.
So something nimble and efficient is key.
Right. You want a camper that blends into those picturesque settings. But let's venture to another continent now. Think diverse landscapes and amazing wildlife.
I'm ready. Where to now?
South Africa's Garden Route. A breathtaking mix of lush forests, golden beaches, dramatic mountains, and vibrant lagoons.
Tapestry of landscapes. That sounds amazing. What sets the garden route apart?
Imagine driving along a coastline where ancient forests meet pristine beaches, whales breach offshore, and then you can hike trails full of exotic birds and monkeys.
Okay, I need to see that in person. What are some must-do activities along the garden road?
Well, there's Tsitsikamma National Park. Hike along dramatic clifftop trails, kayak through the storm's river mouth, or even bungee jump off the highest bridge bungee in the world.
Wow, that's a mix of adventure and beauty. What else?
For wildlife lovers, Addo Elephant National Park is a must. Home to the big five: lions, leopards, elephants, rhinos, and buffalo. You can go on guided game drives or even hike through the park. Get up close to these amazing creatures.
That's going on my bucket list. But would a hybrid camper be able to handle those rugged areas? What kind of setup would you recommend?
Good point. The garden route mixes paved roads with rougher terrain. A 4x4 camper van or a rugged off-road trailer would be ideal for exploring those off-the-beaten-path locations.
So something with more ground clearance and off-road capabilities makes sense.
Exactly. Your camper should be as adventurous as you are. Now let's go to a land of rugged highlands, misty lochs, and castles.
I'm already picturing it. Where to next?
Scotland. We're experiencing the raw beauty of the Scottish Highlands on the North Coast 500.
The North Coast 500, it sounds epic. What makes it stand out?
Picture this. You're driving through a landscape shaped by centuries of wind, rain, and glaciers. Towering mountains, dramatic sea cliffs, waterfalls, and shimmering lochs, all steeped in history and folklore.
I'm feeling that mystical Scottish vibe already. Where should we stop along the way?
Start with Loch Ness, the legendary home of Nessie. Whether you believe in the monster or not, the loch itself is amazing, surrounded by rolling hills and so mysterious. Take a boat tour, visit Urquhart Castle, just soak in the atmosphere.
Loch Ness is definitely intriguing. What else is there?
Further north is the Isle of Skye. It's truly magical with some of the most dramatic landscapes in Scotland. Hike to the Old Manor Store, this towering rock formation, or explore the fairy pools. There are these otherworldly waterfalls and crystal clear pools.
The Isle of Skye sounds like a dream for photographers.
Hmm.
But navigating those remote roads in the Highlands, wouldn't that be a challenge?
You're right. The North Coast 500 has narrow, winding roads and sometimes rough terrain. You'll need a hybrid camper that can handle that. A compact camper van or a well-equipped off-road trailer would be perfect for exploring those hidden gems and remote campsites.
So maneuverability and some off-road capability are key. And what about wild camping in the Scottish Highlands? Any advice for someone new to this?
That's a great question. Wild camping in Scotland is legal, but you have responsibilities. Practice leave no trace principles. It's about responsible camping. Respect the environment. Leave the area exactly as you found it.
So pack out everything you bring in, be mindful of where you set up camp. Good advice. We've explored those rugged highlands. But now I'm craving a classic American road trip. Where are we headed for our final destination?
I knew you'd say that. We're going back to the USA for a journey down memory lane, the iconic Route 66.
Route 66, the ultimate American road trip. Nostalgia, Americana, those endless, wide-open spaces. But some say it's lost its charm, become too commercialized. What do you think?
I hear you. While some parts of Route 66 are more touristy, the heart and soul of the Mother Road is still there. It's about finding those hidden gems, those authentic diners, those motels, those quirky roadside attractions that capture a bygone era.
Okay, you've convinced me. But what makes Route 66 a good fit for a hybrid camper?
Well, Route 66 is about freedom and flexibility, perfect for the hybrid camper lifestyle. You set your own pace, explore off-the-beaten-path spots, and camp under the stars.
I can already see myself at a classic diner in my hybrid camper, ready for a burger and milkshake. But wouldn't navigating Route 66, with its highways and smaller roads, require a specific type of camper?
Great question. You'll be covering a lot of ground on Route 66, so you need a hybrid camper that's comfy for long drives and versatile for different road conditions. A well-equipped camper van or a travel trailer with good towing capacity would be a good choice.
Comfort and practicality, that's key for Route 66. Any specific features to look for?
Definitely good fuel efficiency for those long stretches of highway. You also want a comfortable sleeping area, plenty of storage space, and a reliable kitchen setup for roadside picnics.
Great tips. And maybe a good sound system for those road trip tunes.
Absolutely. The right music makes all the difference. But we need to talk about something important.
Oh, I'm intrigued. What is it?
The sustainability. As we explore these amazing routes, we have to think about our impact on the environment. How can we minimize our footprint while still enjoying the freedom of a hybrid camper?
A very important point. It starts with a fuel-efficient camper and driving responsibly. What else can our listeners do to be eco-friendly?
A lot, actually. Look for campers with eco-friendly features like solar panels for off-grid power and efficient water systems to conserve resources. And remember, leave no trace when camping.
Right. Respect the environment, pack out all your trash, and be careful with water and energy usage.
Exactly. Be a responsible traveler and help keep these beautiful destinations pristine for years to come. You know, it's amazing how each route we've talked about, it's more than just the scenery, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah, it's like choosing a journey based on what kind of story you want to tell. Connecting with nature, like in Iceland,
Yeah.
or rediscovering that classic Americana on Route 66. But let's get practical for a second. We've talked about the romance of these roads, but what about the reality? Packing, choosing campsites, navigating those roads, all that stuff.
It's all about being prepared.
So what should our listeners keep in mind when they start planning? Where do they even begin?
Well, research is key. Don't just look at the pretty pictures. Really dive deep into the routes, read blogs, watch videos, talk to people who've actually been there.
And I imagine having a detailed itinerary is important, especially for campsites. You don't want to show up somewhere after a long day and it's full.
Exactly. Some routes have designated campsites. Others are better for wild camping. If you're going to a campsite, especially during peak season, book in advance. And if you're wild camping, make sure you know the rules wherever you're going.
Right. Leave no trace is super important. Speaking of wild camping, can you explain what that actually means? For someone new to this, what does it involve?
So wild camping, also called boondocking or freedom camping, basically means camping outside of a designated campground. It's about finding a secluded spot, being more off-grid.
No hookups, no amenities, just you and nature. Sounds pretty amazing.
It can be, but you need to be self-sufficient. You need your own water, power, and a way to manage waste.
And you have to be extra careful about the environment.
Definitely. Leave no trace is even more important. Pack out all your trash, use biodegradable soap, and choose your campsite carefully. Don't disturb the natural surroundings.
Okay, so we've talked about research, campsites, wild camping. What about navigating those roads? Some of them are pretty challenging. Any tips?
Use technology. GPS apps can be great for navigation, but don't rely on them completely. Have a paper map as a backup. You never know when technology might fail, especially if you're in a remote area.
That's good advice. And I imagine knowing your camper's dimensions is important, especially on those narrow roads and tight turns.
For sure. Know your camper's height, width, turning radius. Don't push your limits and take it slow, especially in the mountains or on those narrow coastal roads.
Good point. Take breaks, stretch your legs, enjoy the ride. It's not a race.
Exactly. Now let's switch gears again. Let's talk about the challenges and rewards of this kind of travel. What stands out to you?
One of the biggest challenges, I think, is finding that balance between comfort and adventure. You have more amenities than tent camping, but you're still closer to the elements than in an RV.
That's a great point. It's about enjoying that rustic charm and being able to adapt. What if there's a sudden downpour or a bumpy road or a campsite that's not what you expected?
Yeah. But those unexpected moments can also be the most memorable.
Exactly. Those are the rewards. Being closer to nature, having the flexibility to explore, stepping outside your comfort zone. It's about stripping away the excess and focusing on the essentials, connecting with nature, spending time with loved ones, the thrill of discovering new things.
I love that. Embracing the unexpected and finding joy in simple things. But we should talk about safety. Traveling in a camper, especially in remote areas, has its own risks. What tips should we give our listeners?
Safety first. Plan your route carefully. Check weather forecasts, research road conditions, know where you might lose cell service.
And share your itinerary with someone you trust, just in case.
Absolutely. Check in regularly with that person, especially if you're traveling alone. Be aware of your surroundings when you're driving. Pay attention to road signs, speed limits, other cars, all of that.
And don't forget about wildlife, especially at night or in areas where you know animals cross the road.
Very true. Now let's talk about something more fun, the social side of hybrid camper travel. It's not just about the scenery, it's about the people you meet. How can our listeners connect with other travelers, really enjoy that social side of this lifestyle?
Well, there's so many ways. Join online forums and social media groups. Those are great for finding people who love hybrid camper travel. You can share tips, ask questions, even find travel buddies.
Exactly. And you never know who you'll meet at a campsite, a local event, even just getting gas. People are curious about hybrid campers. They want to hear your stories and tell you theirs.
Like a community on wheels. Speaking of community, what do you think about the future of hybrid camper travel? What trends do you see, and how do you think this lifestyle will evolve?
That's a great question. I think we're going to see a lot more growth and innovation in the hybrid camper industry. Campers are getting more high-tech, fuel-efficient, comfortable. It's appealing to more and more people.
Yeah, definitely. And as sustainability becomes more important, I think we'll see more eco-friendly features and a bigger focus on responsible travel.
Absolutely. We might see more campers with solar panels, composting toilets, gray water recycling systems, all kinds of things. And I think destinations will start catering more to hybrid camper travelers.
Right. More campsites for smaller campers, more off-grid options, roads designed for hybrid campers. It's all possible.
And I think the sense of community among hybrid camper travelers will only grow.
I agree. With online platforms connecting people all over the world, that shared passion for hybrid camper travel is going to get even stronger.
It's exciting to think about the future of hybrid camper travel. It's such a unique way to experience the world. I think it's only going to get more popular.
I totally agree. That mix of freedom, adventure, and connection with nature, it's really special. But let's bring it back to the present for a minute. What are some final thoughts or insights you'd like to leave our listeners with as they plan their own hybrid camper adventures?
I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is that hybrid camper journey, it's not just about picking a route.
Yeah.
It's about so much more than that. It's about designing an experience.
Crafting your own adventure story.
Exactly. What kind of landscapes do you want to see when you wake up? What experiences do you want to have? Solitude in the Scottish Highlands, the energy of a music festival on Route 66, What's your vision?
It's about those little details that really make a trip special. A playlist for the road, maybe?
Yeah.
A journal to write down your thoughts? Or even trying out local recipes along the way.
It's about all the senses, the sights, sounds, smells, tastes. And don't forget to slow down. Take those detours. You never know what hidden gems you might find.
Speaking of hidden gems, are there any lesser-known routes you'd recommend? Something off the beaten path.
Ooh, good question. A lot of people overlook the Wild Atlantic Way in Ireland.
I've heard of it.
It's really special, the whole western coast of Ireland. Dramatic scenery, charming villages, ancient history, it's all there.
I've seen pictures, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
What kind of landscapes can you expect?
Picture this. Rugged cliffs, crashing waves, the wild Atlantic Ocean, rolling green hills dotted with sheep.
Yeah.
And ancient stone circles that just whisper stories of Ireland's past. It's powerful.
What kind of adventures can you have there?
Oh, all kinds. Hiking to those clifftop views, surfing, kayaking in hidden coves, exploring castles. You can even try some traditional Irish music and dance. And of course, you can't go to Ireland without experiencing a real pub.
It sounds amazing. And with so many campsites and camper-van-friendly spots, it's perfect for a hybrid camper. But we should talk about responsible travel again.
Yes, definitely. It's so important, especially with hybrid camper travel where you have all that freedom. It's about taking care of the environment, supporting those local communities.
Yeah, making sure those places stay beautiful. So what can our listeners do? How can they be responsible travelers?
We've talked about fuel efficiency, minimizing waste, leaving no trace, but it's more than that. It's about being aware of how much you consume, supporting those local businesses, and engaging with the communities you visit respectfully in a meaningful way.
It's about making a positive impact, not just passing through. Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about. Plenty of inspiration to start planning their own journeys.
Absolutely. We've covered those amazing routes from the Pacific Coast Highway to the Wild Atlantic Way. We talked about choosing the right camper, packing smart, navigating new roads, and we talked about how important it is to travel responsibly to keep those places special.
So as you hit the road, remember to enjoy every moment, take it all in, and create those memories that will last a lifetime.
Yep.
Happy travels, everyone, and until next time, keep exploring.
Safe travels.